It's another copper video. Hang in there, okay? Would you just let me enjoy my peasant money for like a couple days? We're almost through it. I think there's just gonna be one more day after this. There's gonna be some takeaway. And if you can't see the method through the madness, well then I don't know what I can do for you, but I am rooting for you. I'd suggest keep an open mind. It will serve you well. Coffee. I will always pay the tariff. If we get a 2,000 stimulus check, maybe I'll just spend it all on coffee. Fill up my shelf. We're gonna talk about copper today and how I stack it. So let's get into it, eh? Yeah.
Warning! Warning, warning! This is not financial advice. This is not financial advice. I'm just advising you to think. Think. Let's all think.
Welcome back to the Thousandaire Radio channel. We got a three-way tie for first last video. Maestro Metals, Dylan Semensky, and Echo Tech first class, Thousandaire. All right, that was a little dramatic and weird. So I'm still sorting through much of these coins here. I'm almost done. And then I'm going to start stacking my favorite copper on the table. Is it my favorite copper? Well, we'll think about it. But I sure did acquire a lot of it yesterday. If for some reason you're still here, I'm impressed. Today is day 2. We're talking about copper and cash too, actually. So keep that in mind in case you're thinking this is ridiculous. And on some level, there is a bit of ridiculousness here. So what do you think of the penny getting canceled? Let me know. Or I'm sorry, what do you think of the cent getting canceled? Let me know in the comments below. And if you would, hit that like button and help expand this wealthy community of ours. You're always generous with the likes. It's pretty obvious when I look down below. And if you enjoy this copper/cash stuff I'm talking about, well, you should hit like on all the comments below too to really gas the video up so I know that this is what you like. Because I don't think many people like copper. I'm not like, wow, I'm going to do a copper video and get all the views. I don't think so. But at the same time, I got some copper to sort and I want to talk about it. And who knows, maybe it'll age well. I thought I was going to get this done in 3 days. It may take 4. This is day 2. Coming up, probably on day 4, I'll be sorting the pennies with Mars 11's custom penny sorting machine he sent. Come to think of it, I really do have a lot of pennies to sort. You know, the 1 cent to gold ratio is very high right now. Also, the nickel to silver ratio is very high right now. This is really nothing. I mean, I got to get to the big bottles to sort. This is actually just some console change. In case you're new, or if you're not new, I'm just going to repeat it. I stash cents and nickels in 5-gallon water bottles, and the goal is 1 in each room of my home. I can't say exactly what the status is at this moment, but I will update it and report it to you. I don't keep the regular dimes. It's pretty much the only coin I don't keep right now. Oh, I can say I do not have a 5-gallon water bottle full of nickels in my bathroom yet. And I think when I start cracking these 5-gallon water bottles, that's how they're going to be restored, as 100% nickels, which is what they mostly are, but they do have some cents, some copper, and a lot of zincs, I'm assuming. I want to sort out the zincs and get rid of them. I have a 5-gallon water bottle that's about halfway full with only pre-1982 cents. So I'm going to sort all the other cents and see what I can add to it. And once they're all sorted, well then, I suppose that's it for the cents. Unless I just straight up purchase fully copper cents from the coin shop or from friends. That's right, I have some friends that have them. Now I'm thinking that you may be thinking that this conquest for a 5-gallon water bottle of nickels in every room of my home is rather petty. I asked the ChatGPT how many nickels are in a 5-gallon water bottle. Like, how many nickels in fiat terms? How much cash is it if I were to have one of these water bottles full of nickels? And it said about $800 or $900, and well over 1,000 in melt value. Now you may say you can't melt them, and you're right. But if we should go cashless sometime in the future, I'm assuming probably not that long, then it likely will become legal. And with inflation and the growing infrastructure demand for copper, Who knows where the price could go? It doesn't have to go up too radical for it to be worth it. Let's just say we go cashless and copper's up 50%. Each 5-gallon water bottles of nickels will be like $1,500 plus. And look, I don't want us to go cashless, okay? I'm not rooting for that. But the writing is on the wall that it's a distinct possibility. I don't really even want to melt the coins, but if they could be melted, that actually creates the value or intensifies their value because much of what I save has a higher melt than face. I think the pre-1982 pennies, they melt for like around 3 cents, and nickels, I think they melt for about 5.8 to 6 cents or so. Somebody asked in the comments, why don't I keep them in rolls? I'm striving for inconvenience. Inconvenience is the goal. I do not want this change to be convenient to spend. And I want the cash amount totals to be obscured, although AI is not helping me there by answering my questions, but it could be wrong. And what I mean is, I don't want to know how much cash I have in these coins because I don't want my brain to start thinking about how I can spend. It's not that big of a deal if I know. I may even count them. And when I say I may even count them, I think we're talking about 3 full 5-gallon water bottles of mostly nickels and some pennies. I think the one in each room policy may actually be genius because what that does, it stops me from stacking too much of it. At the moment, I haven't reached capacity. Keep in mind, I didn't say one in each bedroom. I mean, one in each room, okay? We're talking bathroom, kitchen, everything. It does make me think if I ever become like a great success and I have like a house with 20 rooms or something, that's going to be fun. I'll have some guests. They'll be unpacking in their room and they'll be saying, what the heck is that? I think I found a Merc. It's a rather shabby one, but a Merc nonetheless. I did a good job of clearing this table. Maybe I just threw it in the change because it didn't make the cut for my jar. It's got like some gunk on the back of it. I'll show you in a second. If I did have a house with 20 rooms, I wonder how many bathrooms I would have. I think it's going to be pretty hilarious when someone used the restroom and they say, why do you have a 5-gallon water bottle of nickels in your bathroom? I could explain exactly what's going on in my mind, but in order for you to understand it, you would have to understand Protoss, pylons, and then you would probably understand why I have to have one of these 5-gallon water bottles in each room. Aside from delusion and a little OCD, it does have there's some practicality to it. The change is perfect for inflation or deflation. Now for inflation, the change with a higher material cost than face value, pre-1982 pennies, all nickels, and of course any constitutional silver change you may have, but we're not really talking about that today. Cheers. Well, during inflation, all of that material cost, well, you know this, that would go up, at least denominated in filthy fiat terms, or promissory notes that promise to pay with more promises. But right now, they're not totally worthless, so long as your bank is willing to give you as many nickels as you like. The dimes, the quarters, during an inflation, not good. Their material cost is well below their face. I think it's like 20% or less. But you got to give them some credit, though, because they are worth more than a paper note, at least in melt value. Now, I think the material to face value ratio is the same for dimes as it is modern quarters, but I'm not going to keep the dimes. I have been letting the quarters pile up, and I've even been picking extra quarters up at the laundromat and the car wash. But that's just to turn some of my easy-to-spend debt notes into some obscure amount inconvenient coinage. I've got a 3-gallon water bottle with Eisenhower dollars and quarters in it. And I honestly couldn't tell you how much cash is in there. I'm pretty sure it's several $100s by now. And I'm also rather certain if I were to guess, I would guess low. Now, I don't plan on the 3-gallon water bottle of quarters to be sitting around nowhere near as long as the cents and the nickels. That's just my rainy day fund. I don't know how much is in there. I could probably cash it in right now and go get an 80-inch television. Aren't they less than $1,000? Forget the television. Maybe I'll get a Sigma. See how I start to think about how I'm going to spend it? Yeah, that joke will probably be short-lived. But anyhow, back to the nickels. Let's think about if we had a deflation. I know it's probably not very likely, but let's say we had a real liquidity crisis. Cash just dries up everywhere. People lose their jobs. Prices on everything goes down. Businesses may not want to lower their prices, but they'll start competing with each other with sales, and it will spiral downward as they compete and undercut each other. Who knows? You may even see the return of a substantial dollar menu at your favorite fast food drive-thru. Well, during times like that, having thousands of dollars in nickels, it won't be that bad. I'd imagine it would certainly be better than having no cash at all. Now keep things in perspective, all right? I just take a little bit of cash each month and put it into change. This is just part of a diversification. It's no substitute for investments or interest accounts. I even stash a few $100 bills each month. But the thing is, all of that cash, it moves around fast. This does not. My pre-1982 pennies and my nickels, they settle into very, very heavy places. Something else to consider. Like I said a moment ago, the silver-nickel ratio is really high right now. I like to play the silver-nickel ratio, the gold-nickel ratio. I mean, if you want, we can totally simplify it. We're just talking about the cash price of gold and the cash price of silver. But let's keep it fun. Think of it like this. Right now, the gold-nickel ratio, right now, it's 84,000. You need a little over 84,000 nickels to get 1 ounce of gold. That's 42 boxes of nickels. Each box has 100 face. I can remember buying gold when it was 11 boxes of nickels for 1 ounce, or only 22,000 nickels for an ounce of gold. I mean, I think it was only a year ago you could get an ounce of gold for 36,000 nickels. What is it now, 1,130 nickels to get an ounce of silver? Yeah, silver's over $56.50 right now, I think. Past few years, I mean, heck, I was getting ounces of silver for 560 nickels each. Yeah, so not only is the gold to nickel ratio really stretched out far, but so is the silver nickel ratio. So you see, what I picked out here is the loser. So I did this whole nickel to silver ratio and nickel to gold ratio to maybe get the thoughts about taking some cash for the metals. Because I hear people talking about the gold to silver ratio. Because the gap's closing and they think the opportunity to get some gold for some silver is coming. And maybe it is. But that gap starts to close pretty fast at the end of a bull run typically. Not always. But I'll ask you, if you were in a plane starting to hurl towards the ground, I mean, would you want to hop in another plane that's headed towards the ground just because the ratio looks good? Maybe consider another ratio. The gold to nickel ratio. Or the silver to nickel ratio. Or maybe this just is truly utter madness. But I'm having fun. Did you have fun? Are you new here? Subscribe, stick around. But I'll warn you, I don't really break out the pennies and nickels very often. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I appreciate you watching, and I would like to know what you think in the comments below. It's okay if it's negative, I can take it. That's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, Wicked Show. Join the pen pals. You can now write me at The Thousandaire Collector, 1700 Sullivan Trail, Suite 7, Box 111, Easton, Pennsylvania, 18040. Don't forget to include your info so I can put you on my mailing list.
It's a beautiful apocalyptic day. The SHTF is everything I dreamed it would be. I'm not dropping the dime, I'm picking them up. We are all so wonderfully screwed.
You Thousandaire! Your radio is wicked sharp!
Lost it all, folks. Every penny on Wall Street. But this beauty's still here for $100 cash. Who's got it?
Liberty is the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political view.